So the front page of the Irish Times sports section this morning. That's all the newspapers there that you can see. A swathe of the headlines. First page of the Irish Times. Fourth star shines brightest for Leinster. The lads all there drinking their Heineken with the Heineken cup. Andrew Porter. It's about the size of a cup that you would expect Andrew Porter to be drinking out of. Galway show Mayo the way out west. Keith Duggan at Castlebar. And yeah, I mean, they're the two biggest stories of the weekend, obviously. Man City, 100 points, a last-minute goal to get the 100 points, to get the record number of wins, to get a record number of assists for Kevin De Bruyne, to get all sorts of records, really, and I guess they deserved it.
Pep definitely cares about that stuff as well. He definitely cared about the 100-point campaign.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely something that he's waking up this morning deeply pleased with. And he's going to tell all his friends about it. He's like, hey guys, I got 100 points in the Premier League. What have you done this year? So yeah, cementing their place as one of the Premier League's greatest teams for sure.
So just on the front of the, I don't know, so Mick Jagger ended up at the cricket yesterday, but he arrived 4 days early and they're photographed arriving at the airport 4 days early. Who goes out to the airport to see the Rolling Stones arrive at the airport?
Well, I don't know, any sort of photographer who knows that they're about to arrive.
But hang on, it waves to fans. I mean, is it just a photographer going, here, give me a wave to your fans? Is that it?
What's wrong with photographing the Rolling Stones landing on Irish soil?
Well, if there were actually fans waiting there 4 days in advance, that's weird. It's like, they're like nearly 100 years old.
Who cares? Age is just a number, Ger.
It is.
Talent is forever.
They're not quite at their peak anymore.
No, they're not very talented anymore, but still.
What kind of a groupie do you need to be still? Anyway, Galway Young Guns send Mayo's all stages on Long Road. The Galway subs were pretty impressive, and the husbandry of the resources available to Kevin Welsh in terms of just the overall management. Rochford's men destined to be the best team never to win in All Ireland, says Eamon Sweeney. That's it. That's what you want to see.
Straight on in there. Sweeney trolling us all again. He could be right with this one, though.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's right in this one. You start to feel sorry for him after the kind of Cody thing earlier this year and the Rochford thing last year, of course.
The Rochford thing was Lions led by donkeys.
The Rochford thing, yeah. And then Cody should have gone into director of hurling role after the first two games of the league was the other one. So hopefully third time lucky.
Right, so on to the Times Ireland edition. Let's make it a double now, says Cullen. This is obviously Leinster's new focus is the fact that they have Munster in the RDS next Saturday. That'll be a good atmosphere. That's going to be some game. Munster obviously lying in wait, licking their chops with the opportunity to derail the Leinster bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm sure like Conor Murray is replying to all these Instagram stories saying, oh, that Heineken looks so tasty. Just have another one. Keep drinking. Keep guzzling that delicious Heineken. Soak in this victory. Yeah. Go for another day. Yeah, I heard Tuesday nights are really good in Dublin.
I wonder what those Ireland WhatsApp groups are like. All of a sudden, it's like, do they go silent? Do you mute them when stuff like that happens?
It's an interesting because like Gerard Piqué was saying that they have a Spanish one, and that all the Real Madrid players were giving Barcelona players grief a couple of years ago when they won the league title, and that they've given it right back to them this season. So I wonder, is there an Ireland one that
Piqué, you know, we don't want to shut up, then they're going to win another European Cup. It's like, oh, we've almost won as many European Cups as you have league titles.
Yeah. So I presume there's some sort of similar sort of setup because like they're pretty kind of open with the kind of bashing of each other's social media anyway, on social media. I mean, the kind of targeting of Conor Murray's Aer Lingus Instagram stories is something that I'm sure you've become aware of. Anybody who uses Instagram becomes very aware of this because I don't know what the basis of it is, but basically Conor Murray enjoys the old Instagram story of showing his plentiful legroom on an Aer Lingus flight, and then everybody else is like, look at me, I'm Conor Murray, when they're kind of doing a boomerang of their legs moving in their plentiful legroom. So,
oh yeah, okay. So he gets like upgraded to first class basically, or else
I don't know. I'm not
the ejector seat.
Yeah, that's what my suspicion is, but I don't know what his relationship is with the airline.
Well, they're sponsors of the Ireland rugby team, of course, and is he in one of the ads? Robbie Henshaw definitely is. Rob Carney too. Mayo sweat on injured star Parsons. The Times, one of the newspapers that has chosen not to show the horrific leg injury suffered by Tom Parsons yesterday. Very few papers did decide ultimately to show the picture. I think the Herald is certainly the only one that I've seen so far this morning. And they've got the picture twice on the back page and inside. Absolutely horrific stuff, and I don't recommend that you go looking for it. The Examiner this morning, Johnny be good. Heaney rocket sinks Mayo as Parsons suffers horror knee injury. And yeah, I mean, like it's always a tough decision to whether or not to show these things. I mean, I think when it's purely accidental like that. With Tom Parsons, I'm definitely of the view that you shouldn't show it when it is inflicted, like the Seamus Coleman one is, with, I think, malice aforethought and violence. Then I think you should show it so that everybody can kind of get angry and understand that was completely unacceptable, and that guy should have been banned for a significant period of time. And the nonsense about Wales going, oh, you know, this just happens in football.
I actually haven't watched the replay back of the Parsons thing. Was it malicious?
No.
Seamus
Coleman.
I was like thinking, no, it seemed very innocuous.
Completely accidental. It just gets trapped under, and he's gone the wrong way, and then, no, it's completely accidental. So double trouble midfielder Parsons out for season. O'Connor to miss start of qualifiers. What was Kieran O'Connor doing?
This is another one that I haven't seen a replay of, but what I thought at the time was that he's going very high. Naturally, you can't lead with the elbow, but it does seem that kind of human instinct is to raise the arm to a certain extent, and you can go in like this, but as soon as that elbow comes out, you're in big, big trouble. And I think...
Look how close the referee is.
Yeah, like, he had to go. There's absolutely no question it was a straight red card every single day of the week. There is no getting away from that fact. I would just question whether or not he's going into that tackle saying, I'm going to get this guy, or was it kind of a self-protection sort of human instinct? Maybe I'm giving Diarmuid O'Connor too much of the benefit of the doubt here, but I certainly thought there was no real malice in the challenge, but I completely accept he definitely had to go.
So what's the difference?
Well, like...
You don't get
you automatically raising your arm, does that automatically mean you're going in with malice? I mean, you can raise your arm in a different way, but it's your shoulder that's doing most of the height, and it's going to be the thing that connects with the opponent. If that was a shoulder that connects with the opponent...
Get the yellow card.
I presume so. Like, there was part of me that was thinking that that Conor Lane might have actually shown Diarmuid O'Connor a yellow card yesterday, and like I was thinking in my head, it has to be red. But I was like, he might get away with a yellow here. Because of that, because malice isn't deemed to be involved.
But you don't want to ruin the game.
But that doesn't matter. Obviously, the intent doesn't actually matter. It's a red card offence and he had to go. But I would be surprised if Diarmuid O'Connor was like, I'm going to elbow this guy in the head and I hope he goes down injured with a broken jaw. That is not what Diarmuid O'Connor wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out there.
Yeah, but... So Rochford talks about losing discipline. We'd be disappointed with that if that's what it was. But it's like 12 months ago, Keith Higgins gets sent off and they end up going through the qualifiers and nearly losing. Like, I don't know, you really hope that Diarmuid O'Connor's going to get it together this season, because it looks like he hasn't quite fulfilled his potential just yet, through injury and then through a bit of a loss of form last year, and you just really hope that he gets it there, because Mayo certainly need him. Dermot's Derby Dream, this is Dermot Welldying, eyes Epsom for Leopardstown winner, Hasapur, big winner at the weekend. Cut from 50 to 1 to 14 to 1 for the Derby, and his nephew of a horse that won the Derby twice, Harzand, am I right? Yeah, Harzand is the one. But then this was the other thing, the other story. Newbury on high alert as worries over violence grow. This is in the Racing Post. This is Newbury after violence at Goodwood and Ascot in the last 2 weeks, where there have been crowd trouble, people in suits beating the shit out of each other because they're getting pissed and talking smack to each other. What the hell's going on?
Mental. Like, it's the last place I would have expected it. Thankfully, there's no top hats involved. That would have just added a real comical element to fights at Ascot if there was actually top hats involved in these scuffles. And they're not just scuffles, they're proper full-out bar brawls that are occurring on a racecourse, like involving 20 people at a time quite often. There's videos on social media, we might bring some of them later on, but...
Up to 50 people, a 50-man brawl broke out at Goodwood on the 5th of May, so that's 2 weeks ago. And then there was another one at the weekend, and they think it's going to roll over. And this isn't like it's kind of isolated to, you know, the Peaky Blinders go to one racetrack and then go to the next racetrack and go to and it's the same people involved. It's like random violence in 3 separate racecourses.
It's clearly on vogue at the moment. Like, I'm not sure these different betting syndicates going after each other. I don't like to call it that guy. He betted against a horse that won, and I don't know. In what sort of circumstance do you build up a grudge with somebody at a race meeting?
They said that
it's like you support a horse.
There was football hooligan behaviour was how it was described. Nothing to do with the racing hooligans.
Yeah.
It is obviously all in the UK. I mean, it makes no sense.
It is very, very strange. We're going to show you the back page of the Herald now. It does contain a small image of the Tom Parsons injury, just to warn you. So you've got Power of 10 as the main headline here. Naseba wants Leinster to dominate for a decade. You've got Lake Goal and Keeney injury blow since Dubs. That's Kilkenny 124, Dublin 316. And of course, horror injury for Parsons as Mayo crash out. The other story there on the back of the Evening Herald. The back of the Mirror then this morning goes with Mo Salah. The only way is up, reads the headline here. Klopp warns record breaker Salah will get even better as Liverpool grab fourth spot. He's 25 years of age, so you would suspect that he does still have a bit of a ceiling to reach in terms of his potential. The back of the Irish Daily Star then goes with Marshall Thaw. Jose Coole's talk of Ant bust-up, while Mayo are shown backdoor again. There's Johnny Heaney celebrating his goal yesterday in the 74th minute, while Klopp says more to come from Super Salah, and Cullen on red alert. Look behind you. Cullen is all too aware his greatest enemy is lying in the long grass. That is Munster, I suspect they're talking about there. On the back of the Sun, it's au revoir Wenger, Frenchman in final farewell as Arsenal beat Huddersfield 1-0. Wenger saying yesterday he wished he could retire every day. And also you've got Parsons KO'd with horror injury. And champion sup for Keane is the rugby headline there. And then a couple of the headlines from across the channel. The back of the Guardian goes with Salah's red letter day and take risks. Pochettino hints his Tottenham future depends on Levy letting him spend big. So obviously the big narrative has been around whether Harry Kane or Christian Eriksen or Dele Alli will be kept at the new White Hart Lane. But obviously Maurizio Pochettino is going to lay down the law with Daniel Levy over the next couple of weeks. And then finally the front page of the Daily Telegraph. This is Mo Salah holding what appears to be a golden shoe. King of the Cop, Salah's golden finish. Forward breaks Premier League goals record to seal Champions League aim. And you've got a big gripe there with that
Yeah,
shoe.
the golden shoe, what the hell? It's a golden boot. There's no studs. It looks ridiculous. It looks like they spray painted a plimsoll and we're like, oh, look, we'll stick this on a cheap piece of wood. I mean, come on, he's the greatest striker. He's one of the most amazing achievements. And it looks like a $2.99 thing from Topshop in the 90s.
It's a 4G golden boot is what they say.
4G?
Yeah.
For 4G pitches?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.